Oh, look at this satellite. It's always a CGI photo or video or some sort of artist rendition of what the satellite looks like. It's a drawing. Every single video we've all ever seen, they're all CGI videos and images of satellites. They never show you the thing in real time. Why can't they show you in real time? Because it's not where they say it is. But what is up there is a real satellite, but it's not at the altitude they claim it is. It is giving off a frequency and signature. It is floating in the sky, but not unaided. You only see it at night, and when you see it, it's the moonlight or the sunlight reflecting off of this. Now I know why these satellites have to have these gold and aluminum reflective surfaces, because they are maintaining the lie, fraud, illusion. Oh, look at the satellite up in the sky. You see the sun reflect off of it? There it is. But you don't see the tether. You don't see this dark colored black balloon floating in the nighttime sky. So here's what the guy says. About how many balloons would you be looking for at one time? Mitchell says the number would depend on the balloons identified in the daily mission, frag order, fragmentary operations order. Their codes would be listed. So each one of these balloons has a frequency and a code. This guy's saying, I think it was 10,000 feet the beacons would continue to function. We thought that they went down and were in the snow in the Brooks Range or some of the other mountains up in Alaska. He says, did your unit tell you the purpose or the mission of the Genetrix while you were doing this? He says, yeah, we knew. The balloons were launched from Norway. Look at this, people. The balloons were launched from Norway, Denmark, West Germany, and I think some from Turkey. In the winter, February of 1956, there was an article in Time magazine about the Russians complaining about our overflight of the Soviet Union with these balloons. Holy shit, people. I mean, really. The Russians were complaining about the US flying over the Soviet Union with balloons. The Russians were complaining about overflights of the Soviet Union with balloons. They had any number of gondolas stacked in the Sperodonivka Palace driveway of Foreign Ministry. Molotov. It was just unbelievable. He had many of them. What they're describing here is this. The Soviets ended up capturing a shitload of these fucking balloons the US was sending up in the air. And they would literally send their aircraft up to capture them and bring them down. Now, you got to think about this, people. This is absolutely mind-blowing. You're trying to tell me that we've been spending trillions of dollars for over 60 years for a satellite program they claim is going up on a rocket, and it's just a balloon you can buy from a hobby shop? Oh, my God. This is incredible. An interesting fact, the airplane I flew during the Corona program had many recoveries of balloons than any airplane in the 456 wing. It was flown by Captain Slaughter Mims. And I think Slaughter recovered 3 balloons near Japan. He got more than anyone else. Slaughter had a lot of success. And he's describing the same aircraft that this guy flew. Okay? Here you go. This guy, Macaulay, says, how successful was the Genetrix program? Mitchell says, none of the pilots associated with the project was ever permitted to see any of the Genetrix film that was recovered. The film was stored in the vaults at Air University at Maxwell Air Force Base, the last I heard. I was at Air University Film Library in 1957, and I asked if I could see the film, but they wouldn't let me because I didn't have need to know about it. Outwardly, I understood that it was a fair success. We knew more about the Russians than we would have without Genetrix. It wasn't good enough to continue with in conjunction with the U-2. It was like the U-2 wasn't as good as Discoverer. I have a document and a study on Genetrix done by a gentleman up in Minnesota. It gives the number that was recovered. A lot of the gondolas went into the water and were never recovered. They had a saltwater plug in them that dissolved when the plug came in contact with the water and eventually sank the gondola. That's what they say. That's what they say. Now, get this. Macaulay says, did the public ever see the Genetrix gondolas and think they were UFOs? Mitchell says, I never heard of any reports of that nature, if there were any. There could There could have been. I don't know. You know, it's been so long since that operation. I don't recall any newspapers that might have said that they were UFOs. I know you could see the balloon. Listen what he says. He says, I know you could see the balloon very easily from the ground. It looked, here you go, people, smoking gun. It looked about like a silver dollar during the daytime because you couldn't see anything attached to it. You see this for yourself, people. He said it looked, you could see it from the ground, and it looked like a silver dollar during the daytime because you couldn't see anything attached to it. So for all those naysayers out there that claim they've seen the Hubble, they've seen the ISS, they've seen other satellites and shit floating around in the sky, think about this. That reflection that you see with the sun reflecting off of the aluminum surface, or whatever type of aluminum, whatever type of shiny reflective material they're using for these satellites, carried by the jet stream, flying around a specific territory that is tasked to fly around in. Macaulay says, at that time, did you normally call the program Dragnet or Genetrix? Mitchell says, we called it Dragnet. Genetrix was a classified code name for the program like Corona and Discoverer. Dr. Alvin H. Howell was the brains behind the balloon program. There you go. They lost one of these, okay? They lost one of the Corona satellites on a balloon, okay? This is a letter written to the Deputy Director for Science and Technology at the National Reconnaissance Office, okay? This was released, declassified and released by the National Reconnaissance Office November 26th of 1997 in accordance with Executive Order, I think that's 12958. Subject, Corona Mission 1005 incident. This memorandum is for information only. Corona Mission 1005 was launched on 27 April into orbit. Orbit. They're considering orbit to be space. We know it ain't fucking space. All right? But that's moved. Let's continue on. Recovery attempts commencing 2 May were unsuccessful. Attached here too is a chronology of operational reporting received on this mission. Number 3, on August 5th, OSA received word from its security representative at the Air Force Base, Los Angeles, that a satellite capsule had been reported as coming down near the Venezuelan-Colombia border. The actions taken by OSA upon receipt of this information are detailed in a separate attachment. As a result of the investigation by the OSA in conjunction with the Caracas station and the embassy attaché office there, the following facts are noted. Listen to this. August 1st. First word was received by Caracas Army Attaché Office of finding of a capsule at La Fria, 500 miles southwest of Caracas in a remote region of the Andes. August 3rd. Reconfirmation of capsule finding made by telephone call to Caracas Embassy. August 4th. Representatives of the embassy viewed capsule at San Cristobal, to which it had been moved by political police. First press stories appeared. August 5th, capsule flown by host government to Caracas. August 6th to the 10th, capsule held by Minister of Defense of Venezuela. All right. August 8th, team from headquarters arrived at Caracas consisting of a security officer and a technical officer from the OSA office and a technical officer from the National Reconnaissance Office. August 10th, capsule turned over to embassy, examined, and reports made by the headquarters team. Copies of pertinent cables on technical and security aspects attached. August 12th, security officer scheduled to return capsule to West Coast. August 6th to the 12th. For the record, it should be noted that on Thursday, 6th August, a request was made by the CIA to the NRO to convene a meeting of the Interdepartmental Contingency Planning Committee to assess the problems, coordinate procedures, and assign responsibility for responding to any news media queries which might arise. Now, what's interesting about this, they noticed there was a label that there was a secret label on a satellite. It was marked secret. They removed that classification from it. This is regarding the history of satellite reconnaissance, volume 2A, SAMOS. Remember that name, SAMOS, okay? the Samos satellite, because here's what I'm going to take you to next. This is the list of all balloon launches from the Esrange Space Center in Sweden. Okay? Now, let me take you to the Swedish Space Center. And here is the Swedish Space Center website. This is the Swedish Space Center. And as you can see, they have balloons and rockets, payloads. This is their website. This is their website. Swedes, the Swedes, okay? It's the Swedes. Here's their Space Center. They do balloon launches. Now let me take you to the document I downloaded from their website. Now, this is a list of balloon launches from the Esrange Space Center starting December 9th of 1982. Remember that term, Samos? You can read these documents for yourselves. We don't need to keep going through all this stuff together. I put a lot of this shit out for you people so that you can see this. You see they talk about weather satellite program, mapping satellite program, realignment controversy, new directions in satellite reconnaissance, okay? But let me take you to this document, which is very important, from the Swedes. This is not US oriented. I got this from a foreign country, okay? So you look at some of the launches. These are balloon launches, people. These ain't rockets. It says it, list of balloon launches. There's going to be some things here that you may see that are going to catch your eye, all right? Because I want you to look. You see the campaign, you look at the payload, all right? You got campaigns and payloads. And we're not going to go through all these codes, but you're going to see something that's going to catch your attention, all right? We're going to keep going through this, all right? Keep going through it. You're going to see something that's going to catch your attention, that's going to blow your mind. You see this, people? What does that say? Mir. That's the Mir space module. February 24th, 1997. Here goes another one. Mir. March 17th, 1997. Mir. Okay? I want you to see these things. All right? I want you to see these things. Let me take you to another one here, because there's let me hang on. Let me see. Here we go. Two more. Mir. February 18th, February 19th, 1999. Mir. It's the Mir space module, people. On a balloon. The ISS does not exist complete the way they show it on television. Here goes another one. Mir, on a balloon. What they are showing you of the space station is a computer-generated image. They are not showing you the complete module put together, flying at 17,000 miles an hour. Here you go. Look at this. Support Mir. They sent up a support balloon to resupply the Mir on a balloon. On a balloon, people. Look at this. Orion. Orion payload. Look at here. Inmarsat. You want to know where your satellite phone communications come from? A balloon, people. A balloon. I'll supply this document to whoever wants it. Here we go. Inmarsat test. Balloon. If you were to take time to search every single one of these flights to match it up with a particular rocket launch that they claim this thing was on, I guarantee you, you will be able to compare it with this Swedish Esrange Space Center balloon flight list. Balloon flight list. Balloons, people. That's your program. It's always been your program. Look at this. Mir short duration. Mir VLD. You got two VLD. Look at here. More Mir. This is in 2002, people. 2002. For those in Europe, you ever heard of Enviasat? Look at Enviasat. in Viasat. These things are supposed to be testing the atmosphere for particulates and, you know, for pollution control. Balloons, people. You can't come to any other conclusion. You don't have any other information to prove you were at the launch pad and you saw them put this thing inside the nose cone of a rocket. You didn't see it. You can work for NASA, you can work for the Germans, you can work for the Russians. You did not see what you thought you saw going into a nose cone of a capsule and with an unedited video stream and put on a launch pad and launched into the sky on a rocket. You didn't see that. Look at NASA. Why is NASA using the Swedish to launch a balloon for them? Think about that. They're everywhere, people. They're carrying out the deception, the fraud, the hoax, the scam, the bullshit. It's all here. It's all here, people. I keep saying it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. You can talk about it all day long. You can claim this is your theory, this is your hypothesis. You ain't got no documentation to fucking back it up. You just want to show some bullshit video and you're not a videographer and you don't know how to do video analysis. You got to get the documentation. And here's the documentation right here. NASA, 2011, LAD, ESO, High Wind. Just check these out. Because I have. NASA, 2003, 2013, Sunrise 2. Look at that. Balloon. Balloon, people. That's a complete list. It goes all the way to 2014. 2014, people. 2014. There you have it. There you have it, people. I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else to tell you. Check this out. Just check this shit out. Check this shit out. Another satellite being launched from Antarctica. Check this out. You're going to love this one. That's Antarctica, people. Remember how we saw that circular launch pad? The bulldozer is smoothing out the ice and snow. Look at this. Just wait and see. Watch this. This is McMurdo Station in the background. McMurdo is right back here. They have line of sight to this airstrip. Just look at this. This is your billion, trillion dollar fucking satellite program. A goddamn fucking balloon. A balloon, people. There goes fucking $20-30 million on a balloon. It's not inside a fucking rocket nose cone. There you go. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Now you want to know NASA is spending all that fucking money for on helium? NASA has spent a shitload of money on helium. So you got to ask yourself, what the fuck is all that helium for, right? You think, okay, maybe it's for the vacuum chamber. They're doing all kinds of testing. No, bullshit. That fucking helium is for their fucking balloon program. What else would you use fucking helium for? What would you use helium for? You use fucking helium to fucking float.
It's at 18,000 feet right now.
Come on, people. This common sense. This common fucking logic.
Hey, the payload is now at 105,000 feet.
Look at that. 105,000 feet.
Quite well, even with the naked eye. It's nice and well inflated now.
So based on the size of that balloon,
now we're at about 120,000 feet.
Look at that. So these things got to get to at least 150, maybe 100, maybe they can get to about 180,000 feet. But at nighttime, see this fucking thing. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see the satellite, period. So we're going to go to aircraft. So let's go to the U2 Dragon Lady. Let's go to the U2 product card. Okay, so here's your U2. I can tell you here right now, this is a new upgraded edition. They've upgraded the satellite system. So instead of, they're still using balloons, okay? They're still using balloons. But as far as military, advanced communications, topography, mapping, this platform, 33 of these are stationed around the world. 33 of them. Half of them are flown unmanned. Half of these can be flown without pilots inside of them. They can fly 24 hours. They can be refueled in the air at high altitude. They've got everything on board that you would need to do the same communications on the ground. 15 of these can be flown without pilots, unmanned. When I spoke to my professor, who used to be a Defense Intelligence Agency officer, he was in charge of the U2 ISR program, Intelligence Surveillance Reconnaissance program. I asked him how many of these would be needed to cover the entire Earth in a 24-hour period. He told me you only need 10.